Welcome to the Worship Probs podcast, where we aim to entertain, encourage, and equip worship and tech leaders all around the world. Look, we all know that serving in worship and production is great, but the problems, those are real. Thanks for joining us as we dive into today's episode with our host, Brian Tabor.
Welcome to episode 317 of the Worship Probs podcast, and Happy New Year. Let us be the first to wish you a happy 2025. We're here for episode 317. That's hard. That's really hard to believe. And, you know, the 3 E's: entertain, encourage, and equip. And wherever you listen to this podcast, and there are 17,000 podcast platforms. If you could do us a favor, first of all, hit subscribe wherever you're listening. But if you could jump over to Apple Podcasts, because that's sort of the mothership for podcasts, and leave us 5 stars and a really nice review. We're always asking you to do that because it helps. It makes a difference. It makes an impact and helps the podcast get out there to more people. So, ladies and gentlemen, here with us today, the one and only Big Yonsei. That rhymed, and I didn't.
It did. I know. That was impressive.
With us today is Big Yonsei.
It's like a new tagline or something. Yeah, Brian, you pulled out just the best for the top of the year, right?
Right, exactly.
It's just everything's downhill from here.
Exactly.
Oh man, have you gone over on Apple Podcasts lately and read some of those reviews? Some of these people have, some of our devoted listeners have stepped up to the plate and left some delightful, I don't know why, and I forgot to tell you this, I was looking at them last night, and there are some delightful reviews on there. Somebody wrote, I think they had ChatGPT write one from the perspective of Jesus.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I need to go.
You got to go. You got to dive around in those because, our listeners have stepped up. And really,
I love it.
Yeah. So, if you needed some inspiration to go do that, there it is right there.
Absolutely. I got to check that out.
Yeah, you do. But anyway, hey, it's good to be here. It's
good to have you.
It's a new year.
It is, man.
It's a new year. It's a new day.
It's wild.
I know, right? Where's time going? How are we at 317?
Golly.
Did you ever think? I don't think you did.
No. I did not. Back when I was still at the church and we were trying to do these every week and finding time and sometimes like carting my whole rig to the church to find a classroom somewhere. And I didn't.
What'd you think? Like maybe 50,
Maybe.
Did you have like, like, I'll do this for like 6 months and it'll be over.
Right. Well, and then you stepped in and it was like a rocket ship,
Right.
I was like, well, we got to keep going now.
Better than a bomb, I guess. Oh man, no, it's good to be here. I'm excited. We're starting off the year strong. We've got those 3 E's. We talk about it every week. We want to entertain, encourage, and equip our listeners. And I think that this week we're going to do that. Entertainment.
Absolutely.
We're gonna hit the nail on the head with some prayer concerns. It's always a fan favorite. It's a highlight of the week. Hearing the unhinged comments that people in our congregations make.
Yes.
Obviously, we want to share some resources. And then we're going to have a fun little conversation. Got a little bit of a play on words. I don't know if I leaned too hard into millennial Gen Z or here, but we're calling this New Year, New Re instead of New Me. We're going to be, should I give away the 3 words that we're kind of going on? Or
ladies' choice, man.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe we'll keep it a surprise. We're playing a little bit with the words that start with R-E. And we're going to be kind of talking through a couple of just different thoughts as we start the new year. Inspire us, that sort of thing. So it's going to be good.
Absolutely. Hey guys, speaking of good, let us tell you about these amazing people at Planning Center. This episode of the Worship Probs podcast is brought to you by Planning Center, an all-in-one software that can help you organize every facet of your ministry, connect with your people, and help your people stay connected to each other. Among the many ways Planning Center can help you do that is through task management. In Planning Center, you can create detailed tasks, organize to-do lists, and even collaborate on those tasks with other team members in real time. Do you have recurring events and projects with long to-do lists? Make a task list template to save time. Have regular tasks you need help keeping up with? Set your tasks to automatically repeat at an interval of your choosing. And the best part is that you can create tasks from absolutely anywhere in Planning Center using the toolbar. You'll find your Tasks tab in Planning Center Home, the place you see all the important updates happening across your account. To learn more and get started today, visit planningcenter.com or click the link in our bio. So, okay, I told you we have the moment when we catch up. I told you I have like a regular catch up and a philosophical catch up.
I'm so curious which one.
I think, should I go philosophical? I'm thinking about starting 2025 with the philosophical. Okay, we were watching a show on Paramount Plus, and I don't remember what show it was, but somebody had passed away.
Okay.
And they were talking about this character. And so Kim looked at me and she was like, okay, so I'm going to ask you what she asked me.
Okay.
How they were remembering. So how do you want to be remembered?
Oh my goodness. What?
It's a big question.
That is a huge question. What's the normal one? Can I? Man, it's too early in the year for this, Brian.
I mean, that's a heavy lift, right?
That is a heavy lift. That is a really heavy lift. I'm going to get philosophical back. Here's the hard thing. We have no control over how we're remembered. If you think about it, because people perceive us differently. And so as much as I would want to be remembered as, maybe loving and kind or funny and, a mother who loved her kids, that kind of thing. As much as I want to be remembered those ways, I feel like I actually can't totally control how people remember me because perception is everything and people's individual experiences. And, so not to get really philosophical but
yeah, that's a good, that's a table flipper right there.
Is it? Turn it back around.
Tables. I can remember when I was at the church and, we would get that call, there's a funeral and, we had it was not gigantic. Our worship center had 1,200 seats and everybody always wanted to have the funeral in there.
Right.
Because that's where they worshiped or whatever. And as a staff member, you're always like, okay, there are very few funerals that come along that need that many seats.
Right.
And I can remember going to a service, and this was 20 years ago now, probably for a guy that had worshiped at our church and had also been a college professor.
Mm-hmm.
And he was one of the few people I've ever seen who filled this, like his funeral filled the sanctuary where it was. And I remember looking around and I remember just thinking, boy, man, this is kind of what, in all honesty, this is probably what everybody would want. Like, you would want people to come and want to remember your life and all that. And I mean, you want to be known, like you said, like as somebody who was loving or somebody who cared for people or whatever, not somebody who was a jerk on the highway or that's probably what I would be.
I thought of while you're saying that because I was like, okay, I probably more than anything would want people to remember me as someone who loved the Lord. And then it reminded me of these lyrics from an older Carrie Job song. Have you heard this song called "The Cause of Christ"? It wasn't like a huge song of hers. It came out, at least a decade ago. But the final verse of the song is, "It is not fame that I desire, nor stature in my brother's eye. I pray it's said about my life that I lived more to build your name than mine."
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you got to go listen to that song. But that came to my mind while you were saying all that. I'm like, you know what? That would be awesome.
That would be awesome. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, this is going to be a humdinger, guys. I hope you got your tissues ready. Okay, first, a couple of announcements. You know how church announcements can kind of go on and on and on. I try to not do that, but I do have a few things to tell you about that are really exciting. So 2025, there's going to be some new stuff coming. So the podcast, what you're listening to now, you will also be able to watch on YouTube at Worship Probs. Wow. So every week, we have a wonderful guy named Luke who is volunteering to put this together for us every week. So Luke, tip of the cap, my guy. Really, really grateful for you. And so make sure you go subscribe at Worship Probs and you'll be able to watch us every single week. Second, we're going to be launching an e-news newsletter. It's going to come to your email no more than once a month, and it will not be tons of spam. You know how you buy something from some company, and the next thing you know, you're getting 18 emails every day. Mm-hmm. That will not be this. There'll be some Devo stuff in there. There'll be some, catch up kind of things. It'll be exclusive. This will not be stuff that we're sharing all over our socials. So, link in the bio. Head over to worshipleaderprobs.com, brand new website. Click on the Let's Connect tab and sign up for our e-newsletter. Worship Karaoke is rolling. Season 4 just finished. We got season 5 coming soon. That's another YouTube thing. Instagram only lets us share the first 15 minutes, so you can see the full episodes on YouTube at Worship Probs. Then January 17th and 18th, Refuel Conference, Mishawaka, Indiana, Bethel University. Jen and I will both be there. We're going to be doing what we do a little bit and teaching some breakouts. Pastor Scott is going to be there teaching a breakout. Kim is coming. We're going to team teach a breakout, something we've never done before. So
you can pray. The whole gang is there.
You can pray for us in the preparation for that. But yeah, 17th and 18th. There's a link in our bio for this. And this conference is awesome. Just trust us. This will be our 3rd year in a row. It's priced at a level where you can afford to bring your team with you. And there are breakouts for all disciplines. Jen, we'll be recording a podcast as a breakout, but you're also going to teach another. What's your other breakout on?
Okay, so we've got 2 of them up in the air. So I kind of feel like, I know that we're leaning toward one that's specifically for women in worship. So I think that's the one that's nice. That we're going to be doing. So yeah, kind of making a late.
Your second one is going to be, how do you want to be remembered?
Exactly. Yeah, that's going to be a spontaneous chat in the hall. You're going to.
So, and then I know Pastor Scott's teaching some breakouts, and then all along with us, you've got Paul Balash, Meredith Andrews, Josh Baldwin, John Egan. It's a great conference. Just trust us. Link in the bio for that. Grab your tickets and register. Okay, in 24, we launched the Worship Probs Podcast Network. This had been a dream of mine for a while. When we started the podcast, we were just kind of wandering in the wilderness. There was no help out there for us. And we've been looking for people and, storytellers, ministries that we can help along the way. And so the first one we launched back in March of 24, the Strip Free Podcast. That's with Kim Tabor. Hope you're checking that out. Link in the bio for that. Coming in 25 is the Worship Side Hustle Podcast. You've probably seen us sharing some stuff in the stories about this. So, here's what that's about. We've all, kind of been, you want to do ministry, you want to make an impact on lives, you want to make a difference and focus on the ministry. But sometimes, you got to make a living, you got to pay bills. And maybe you're a volunteer at your church and you have to do something full-time to just keep food on the table. Or maybe you're part-time or full-time at your church, but the compensation just doesn't meet the family needs and the budget. So sometimes we have to develop these other outlets, other ministries. And so that is what the Worship Side Hustle is. Our friend Daniel Gorley has lived this in his own life, and he's launching this podcast in January here. So keep an eye out. We'll be telling you all about that as well as episodes drop.
That was a lot of info.
I know. I'm sorry.
There's some good stuff, though.
It's a lot.
Well, you know what else is good stuff, Brian?
What's that?
I think it's time for Prayer Concerns.
Prayer Concerns is proudly sponsored by 5 Words Media, the amazing people that bring you free church AV. 5 Words Media is also the official AVL integrator of Worship Probs. If you're a worship pastor or a tech director, you know how crucial audio, video, and lighting are for your weekly gatherings. Speakers popping, dead zones, lighting, and live streaming issues can quickly make your gathering both distracting and frustrating. An excellent worship gathering is one where your AVL systems are all working together seamlessly to help create a powerful worship experience. The team at 5 Words Media gets it. They're ministry experts who understand the details of your local church's needs and the pivotal role that volunteers play. Their passion? to deliver high-quality, volunteer-friendly solutions that align with your budget and priorities. How does it work? Well, the 5 words proven process is straightforward. It starts with a needs assessment done by one of their skilled technicians, followed by a custom solution design tailored to your budget. Then, they handle the installation, testing, and even volunteer training. Ready to transform frustration into empowerment? Just click the link in our bio, find 5 Words Media, and kickstart your journey today. Elevate your gatherings with precision and excellence. Schedule a call with 5 Words Media now. Guys, prayer concerns. Here we are, 317 episodes in, and you're still sending in your prayer concerns, and we love it. I'm here for it. Here's what that means. Your congregants, sometimes they need to tell you, they have a license to share. They need to tell you, I didn't like that.
Yeah.
I didn't care for that. Sometimes they'll walk up, say it to your face. Sometimes they'll write it on a connection card or in your live stream chat or on your YouTube channel or Google review or whatever. And so people send these in from all over the world. You'll always be anonymous. We'll never share your name or your church's name, but we share these to help you just kind of take a breath and realize you're not in this alone. Like, we're all out here fighting the good fight. And so send yours in to us. You can go to the website, worshipleaderprobs.com. There's a link in the bio for this. Fill out the form and send it in, and you might hear that on a future episode of the podcast. So we have a few versions of prayer concerns. This is the OG, the one that started it all, just the savage comments from the congregation. So let's dive right in. Prayer concern number 1. Growing up, my family attended a small town Pentecostal church. It was the late 80s, and our church didn't have a worship pastor. I remember one service when the song leader tapped the microphone and said, "Is this thing on?" And then he put it up to his ear.
Oh no, this guy doesn't know the basics.
Do you remember the song leader days? Were you around for that?
No, I was not around for that.
I was, man.
Yeah.
So my home church growing up, it was Assembly of God. My oldest brother, Bob, was the worship pastor, but he didn't do a ton of worship leading.
Okay.
He would play the organ.
Oh.
Like B3 kind of style. And we would have volunteers from the church who would rotate up. And I can distinctly remember every Sunday, this guy named Ron Vibert who would walk up and say, "Give me a B flat, Brother Bob." My brother would hit a B flat chord and this dude would just take off on some song and my brother would fill in. And so that was, it was how I grew up, man.
That's incredible. We don't need to get into the tangent about how I don't think anybody could hang with that nowadays. Like,
oh my, you're not kidding, man. Yeah.
That was a whole different level of skill.
That was a whole different level. Whole different level. Okay, number 2, prayer concern number 2. A man put his offering in an envelope with his name, address, email totally filled out. And the note inside said, "Man, you just don't have it." I don't know exactly what that means, but it can't be good. It doesn't sound affirming.
No. Like the church doesn't have it. Was it self-reflection? Like, I don't have anything but a note to drop in here. Like, what?
Could be.
I have so many questions after that one.
Yeah, there's a lot of questies after that one. All right, number 3, prayer concern number 3. I was singing at my home church, and apparently a lady had come to visit from a church 45 minutes away. She made a point to come up to me after service, and this is what she said. "I like the worship today, but I like it better at my church. You kind of sound just like one of the girls from my church, but I like her voice better." I was a little confused and I just simply asked, "What church do you go to?" And I found out it was a church I had just recently left. I was a big part of the worship team there, and the girl she was referring to is my sister.
Oh, gosh.
So that'll make for an interesting Thanksgiving conversation. Yeah,
right? Right? Oh, my goodness. It's the need to say these things.
Yeah.
that I never can get past.
I mean, I liked it, but I like mine
liked
better.
it, but I like my better. Thank you for that
Right?
unsolicited.
Don't you just kind of want to say, well, I sort of think you're okay, but I like our congregation better.
Yeah. If only we could.
Oh, my Lord. Okay, number 4, prayer concern number 4. A former church member was back in town visiting family, and they came to service that weekend. After the service, she greeted me with, "So, I guess you aren't doing Weight Watchers anymore."
Oh my gosh.
That's rough, man. That's rough.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So bad. So bad. Like, guys, let's just not do that.
Let's just not do that. Let's just not
we
do
can
that.
just, it's enough to say, it's good to see you today. Like,
Yeah.
there we go.
Hi there.
Hi.
Been a while.
Great to see you.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
Oh, man.
Oh, my Lord. Okay, here's the last one, the bottom of the pudding cup, prayer concern number 5. Now, this one is handwritten. These are some of my favorite. Handwritten, all caps, okay, on the back of a connection card. And it says, "Please, for the love of God, make the songs shorter." For the love of God.
For the love of God.
Make the songs shorter.
Shorter, less worship.
Oh my gosh.
I can't be singing to Jesus
Exactly.
this long. It's too much.
Exactly. Oh my Lord. So fam, those are prayer concerns. Wow. That's what we're looking for. I know you've gotten comments like that. Send them in to us. We'll never share your name or your church's name. You can DM those to us on any of the socials or go to the website, worshipleaderprobs.com. Click on the prayer concerns menu item and just submit them there. There's also a link in our bio that'll take you right to the prayer concerns link page on the website. Well, I'm excited. We're going to have a really good conversation today. Since 1988, New Life Ministries has offered compassionate and empowering solutions to those who find themselves in life's difficult places and who are missing what God desires for their lives. Family, friends, and churches want to help, but aren't always equipped to care for those dealing with problems like addiction, pornography, infidelity, anxiety, anger, fear, depression, and hurts from the past. Do you ever find yourself feeling anxious, fearful, angry, or even depressed in your everyday life or ministry? Or as a leader in your ministry, do you want to be better equipped to walk with those around you who are struggling? We're partnering with New Life Ministries to provide resources, help, and support for you in any season you face, so you are best equipped to serve and lead your ministry. Look for more info to come and click the link in our bio to discover more ways that New Life Ministries can help. So, new year, new re.
Yeah. Got a little creative, didn't we?
Yeah, so it always gets us kind of thinking a little bit about the new year and what we might, what are we going to kind of set our hearts on? What are we going to set our minds on as we head into a new season? So, I'm going to be straight with you, Jen. Jen came up with all 3 of these re's, and they're fire. Okay, so we got 3 of them.
Yeah.
And the first re is remember.
Yeah.
Remember.
The top of the new year, this, a lot of us have a bunch of resolutions, which that starts with a re also, even though it's not, but, but a lot of times the new year is we're reflecting and we're, just kind of thinking over things. And I was thinking about how, I know I personally do this a lot, is I'll get to a new year and I've got goals or I've got all these hopes and I've got all this stuff that I'm maybe looking forward to. And I was thinking about in the Old Testament, we saw this a lot, that there was, we're going forward. I have plans for you, this and that. But there was also usually packaged in there this remember. At the beginning of Exodus, even when they're first kind of making their way into the wilderness, God talks about remember, I'm the God who brought you out of Egypt, remember this and that. And so I do think that there's something powerful in remembering what the Lord has already done in our lives, remembering maybe what he has spoken to our hearts, remembering some of these things as we step into a new season or into a new year. Because I feel like that's just part of anchoring our faith. I have a verse to share in Psalm 77. And the psalmist says this in 77, 11 and 12. It says, I will remember the deeds of the Lord. Yes, I will remember your wonders of old. I will ponder all your work and meditate on your mighty deeds. But I love that. I feel like it could be so good as we're looking forward to remember the faithfulness of the Lord, to remember what he's brought us through, how he's miraculously worked in all of our lives. That way too, I feel like it does help when we make a point to remember that if things aren't maybe going the way we want, maybe you're starting the new year and 2024 wasn't quite what you had thought it would be or you would hope it would be. It's even good to remember in that position to go, okay, but I'm going to remember the faithfulness of God. And I'm going to remember the steadfastness of God. I'm going to remember what he's done in my life. Because I feel like it just helps us keep our hearts postured in a better place.
Amen. It sure does. It's important to remember. I think maybe it's Exodus 20. They talk about God told the Israelites to build altars that will remind you of who I am.
Yeah. Yep.
What a powerful to remind you of who I am, examples of what God has done, let's say you have, you have a season in your life where maybe you're having some financial challenges, and then, God shows up in some kind of miraculous way. And then maybe a couple of years later, you have another season where to be able to point back to that time when God was faithful, God answered prayer, God provided. Those are huge moments in everybody's life. And so, man, remembering can be something that can help to sustain you, I mean, that's a powerful, I think I would even call that maybe a discipline, like the discipline of remembering, I think is really, really important for the life of every believer.
Yeah, that's so good. I think even in, I think it's Psalm 103? Bless the Lord, O my soul, forget not all his benefits.
All his benefits, yeah.
Forget not, and it even, he heals all your diseases. He crowns you with righteousness. He does all of these things. There is so much power in forget not who the Lord is. Forget not what he's done. I think that it's in that like we can really be sustained,
Amen.
in our faith and our journey.
Amen.
Remember.
Amen. All right. That's the first remember. The second, and we're in ministry, so we got to have 3 points, right?
Right.
So
we have to.
Point number 2 is renew.
Yeah. Renew. Again, everyone's doing stuff at the top of the year. We've got our little, I don't personally like resolutions. I don't know how you feel about them. I tend to go, a lot of times we set these things like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to that. And I'm like, I like the word renew a little bit because I feel like it's an opportunity to go, okay, let me revisit like some of my disciplines, some of the patterns that I have, some of the habits that I have, some of the rhythms. Like I feel like it's an opportunity to renew some of those things. Maybe some of it it's a passion for something. Yeah. Maybe in the midst of, as the year went on last year, you lost sight of, what am I really passionate about? Or, what am I hoping for? And so I feel like renew, that's a good opportunity to go, okay, let me, it's almost like breathing fresh life into whatever that might be, whether it's your hopes, your passions, your dreams, your daily rhythms, your disciplines. Just, it's like a breathing of new life into it.
Yeah. I agree. Those are great, Jen. I'm not a huge resolution guy either, just because I feel like it kind of sets you up for feeling like a failure. And I'm not about feeling that.
Yeah, same. That's probably why.
But it can be kind of a natural time to renew, like maybe towards the end of 24, maybe you'd let your devotional time get a little lax. You're busy at church. There's tons of extra demands on your time. maybe a new year is kind of a time to maybe renew that commitment to, as Jen talked about, the disciplines, disciplines of, Bible study, prayer. I'll be totally straight with you. I started the year as my mom would say, like a house of fire, with the Lectio 365 app. And then, in this kind of late summer, I got busy and I got away from the discipline of that. Yeah. And I was a little more sporadic towards the end of the year, but hey, I'm starting again in 25. And that's a really, if you're looking for something quicker and easy, you can, it's an app that has audio, and it incorporates prayer and Bible reading and all kinds of stuff. And it is a great, like, short daily devo. I would probably encourage maybe some deeper, more thorough kind of Bible study at other times in your day. But man, that's a free app, Lectio 365. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's really good. Renew disciplines.
Yeah.
Renew, even like thought processes, renew your, things get really jumbly. We all know this. You get to that back part of the year and just everything, everything just gets so jumbled and, kind of falls off. Like one of the things our kids love to do, I know a lot of people do this at the top of the year, they fast, that kind of a thing. And so my kids have actually gotten to the point, well, couple of them, one of them definitely not, Jensen, does not look forward to it, but they look forward to even like a renewal of, all right, we as a family will be like, okay, we're not going to be having sugar. We're going to put the electronics off to the side. We're going to renew our minds. We're going to renew relationship with each other, again, to try and get things back on, on track, get back into a better rhythm. So
absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's
and there might even be something on your team that you want to renew, if you want to maybe renew your commitments to responding to your planning center.
That's a great one.
Request in a timely manner. And somebody reminded me recently when I went to Mount Pleasant, we introduced Planning Center there, and I got really frustrated because it's like, okay, receiving the request it's an important part of the request scheduling process, but it's the responding that is really essential and crucial to the scheduling process. And so I would tell people, you got 3 days. Yeah. Anybody can make a decision in 3 days.
Yep.
It's not a proposal. We're not buying a home together. It's can you serve? Can you play drums on the weekend? And yeah, you got 3 days. And if you haven't replied in 3 days, I decline you and I go to the next drummer. So maybe it's time to renew something.
Maybe it's time to renew some of the vision within your team.
Boom.
We talk about this a lot. You got to keep things in front of people. And again, you've just come through holidays. Holidays really take it out of your team.
Oh, yeah.
And then some churches are already prepping for Easter. I probably shouldn't utter that word, but I did. So it's a good opportunity to even renew the vision within your team and renew a passion within your team. And so that's something to really think about too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So we've had remember, we've had renew, and then we're going to bring this home with point number 3, refocus. Refocus.
Are you like this at all? So I tend to be, I wouldn't call myself a dreamer. I'm not that optimistic, but
you're not the only one. Sorry.
I like to think of myself though as a brainstormer. I get ideas, but then I get a lot of ideas, and then the ideas are all just going in my head. But then I don't know what idea to kind of pursue, and it actually causes me to not do anything because I have so many ideas. And so when I was thinking about this word refocus, I was actually thinking I feel like there's a lot of things that can vie for our attention, that can vie for our time, for our energy. And I think that it's important for us to sit down and maybe refocus and go, okay, God, what is it you want me to be doing with my time? What do I need to be doing right now with my life? What I need to refocus in on what's the priority going to be? Where does my attention need to go? What do I need to be doing? Because I think it's just so easy. There's so many distractions. There's so many things tugging at us that we can really lose focus unintentionally, lose focus on what we're supposed to really be aiming toward.
Yeah, I love that. And One of the notes I wrote down is like maybe your call. It's a new calling,
Yeah.
or it also could be the same calling, but like you said, we just got a little distracted.
Yeah.
I mean, the holidays, different rhythms, different places, different people, lots of churches have different service schedules for, Christmas or whatever. And so it really is a good time to kind of refocus. We could have also done a fourth, like realign. There's so many rewords.
There are so many re's.
Maybe this is a series. But yeah, like, kind of refocusing on, okay, they talk about how, like if you're golfing, or if you're like target shooting or bow and arrows or whatever, like the smallest adjustment where you are when it gets to the target makes for a huge miss.
Right.
So those little details matter so much, because of how it affects the target, off in the distance. And so it is really a really good time to refocus.
That's so good. That was a great analogy. That was really great.
Jen, it sort of came to me in the moment.
It was beautiful.
Well,
I thought it was really good.
I'm trying, man. You're going to get max effort. What I lack in ability, I will make up for in just general enthusiasm. So
it's one thing that's the reason we all love you, Brian.
So there you have it. The new year, remember, renew, and refocus.
Yeah. And maybe, you know what? Take some time. It's the top of a new year. Maybe sit down in some devotion time or some quiet time. Maybe come up with a couple of re's for yourself. Yep. Maybe, like Brian threw out the word realign and, reimagine, revisit. Maybe there's a re or two in your life that the Lord would like to direct you to. So, reveal. Yeah. Ooh. See, we could just go on this forever.
See?
But yeah, take some time and just see what re's are needed in your life this year.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Man, that was 317's a banger.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all downhill from here for me, at least. I peaked. Next time you text me for a creative idea, it's going to... Oh, just kidding. Guys, thank you so much for listening to episode 317 with us, for hanging out, for starting your new year out right. Remember to hit subscribe. Like we asked earlier, Brian said so beautifully earlier, hit subscribe wherever it is that you listen to your podcast. That way you never have to go look for us. Go do it.
Yes.
Go on over to Apple Podcasts. Be a rock star over there like some of our other listeners and friends, and just leave an amazing review. 5 stars. Just helps to get the message of the podcast out in front of more people. And thank you so much for following us, for hanging out with us on all of the socials. You can find us at Worship Probs on Instagram, Facebook, Threads, and YouTube. Make sure you subscribe over there on YouTube also. You got to kind of follow that. There's a whole bunch of different goodies on YouTube. So subscribe over there so you never miss anything. At Worship Leader Probs on TikTok. It's the Wild Wild West over there. And that's Brian single-handedly just dismantling.
I don't get how it works. But man, you'll have all of a sudden, we'll go on a run with people making comments on a TikTok that we shared like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Do you remember this video we have? It's like the president of some African nation, and he's trying to say in the beginning.
The beginning. Yeah.
But he says in the beginning.
Yeah.
And he can't.
He can't get it out.
That has gone on a run.
Wow.
Here during December. And I don't know why. I didn't reshare it or anything. So yeah, TikTok's wild.
I know it must be like something with their algorithm. Like if it starts getting attention, they start showing it to more
people.
In the
beginning. And there's a guy in the background. Listen. Speak it purposely.
Great. That's so great. Oh gosh. Hey, we've got the Worship Props community group too. I don't want to forget to tell everybody about that. That's over there on Facebook. A whole lot of different conversation happening over there. So make sure you check out the community group. And you can even find us over there on X by searching the hashtag Worship Leader Probs.
Yeah. And we're grateful that you follow. We're grateful that you engage. We love connecting with all of you. Hey, and we want to connect you with our friends at Maven Media Productions. They do an amazing job of editing our podcast and creating the graphics. And I tell you all the time, if you see something that looks really sharp on our channels, it came from Maven. So if your church needs help with social media, or you need a new website, or maybe you have a secular company or business and you just need somebody to help you kind of harness the power of social media, these are the people that can help you do that. Allie is just the best. And there's a link in our bio for Maven. You can also go straight to their website, mavenmediaproductions.com. Tell them we sent you. They will crush it for you, I promise. And thanks to Scott Hoke for our intro. Guys, we love you. Thanks for spending a little time top of the new year with us in episode 317. Until next time, deuces.
Smell you later.